Yeah. These are not
Talking
prasadam
about pranam
prayers.
mantras, it's gone off that subject.
Just pranam mantras. Yeah.
Oh, pranam.
Yeah, not prasadam prayers.
Okay. So who's next read? Madhava Kamala, will you want to read?
Yes, Maharaj, thank you so much. Appendix 2, offering obeisances, pranam namaskara. In the early morning or whenever visiting temple, one should offer obeisances to the deities only after waking them, because it is enjoined in Shastras that one should not disturb the Lord by offering obeisances when the Lord is resting or bathing, nor should one circumambulate the Lord at these times. Also, one should offer obeisances just outside the deity room, never inside, since it is enjoined to offer obeisances from a respectful distance within the deity room. Offer pranams with joined palms by mantra and with the mind.
So why not? So it says there, a respectful distance.
Yeah.
What if it's a big deity room?
Yeah, I suppose we just mark out the area where the deities are and leave some space, because it's saying respectful distance. That's the practical aspect.
Somebody brought that question up a few weeks ago, and the man and I said, I asked the same question, why don't we? He said, because somebody might fall over you. I mean, I think that were a bit of a speculation. But it's true, in a small space, somebody might.
Yeah. Fall over the deities.
Well, fall over the person who's paying obeisances,
Yeah.
Got one question, and when the curtains are drawn, like when we leave in temple, sometimes the curtain is drawn in the temple room. Are we supposed to pay obeisances when the curtain's drawn? Somebody said when the curtain's drawn, that means the deity is taking rest. We should not pay obeisances.
Why?
Because it said the deity is taking rest, and then you oblige them to take notice of you or something like that.
Oh, I ain't heard that. I mean, I don't know if anybody else has.
That's what it says here, Maharaj. Previously, we've just read that if the deities are resting or sleeping, then better not disturb. Just in the previous paragraph.
Can you scroll down?
Sorry. That is if they're actually taking rest. I mean, that's the last thing in the daytime or sometimes middle of the afternoon. But the curtains are closed many, many times and opened, so that they can be actually dressed and served prashadam and so many things. So, when you close...
In our temple model, when we leave, they usually draw the curtain. That means they are resting. I don't know when it's not in the middle of the program after everybody program's finished and the prasad is because usually the prasad, when they're taking prasad, they draw the curtain and then that stays closed.
Yeah.
That means they're resting, or I don't know what to take, would pay obeisances or not when I leave temple and the temple's the curtains are drawn.
I mean, there's two ways of looking at it. In the morning, in the last thing at night, they take rest, and in the middle of the day, they may take rest as well after midday offering or something like that. But the rest of the time, they're not taking rest, taking a nap or anything. And the point is that as soon as you close the curtains, I mean, it's not like they immediately take rest. They're prepared. So I think it's like it's not so important whether you actually offer or not. You know what I mean? That's my opinion, anyway. Maybe that's.
Maharaj, is it not like that when we are going, we wave bye to each other? Is it like we can offer the respects before just after closing the curtain? Just for now, I'm offering my obeisances.
Yeah, I mean, it's just natural to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but I suppose if you come in the temple and it's the time of day when they're taking rest, might be a different thing.
I mean, like when I finish my duty on Sunday, it would be like 5:30 or something like that. before I go home. When I come and the curtains are drawn, I don't know that they're taking rest or I don't know. It's just I come to
Yeah.
temple room.
Yeah,
I think,
in Manchester, we haven't got installed deities, so there's no set program really. So it doesn't really apply so much.
Shall I pay obeisances or not, Maharaj?
Yeah, I don't think there's any harm. In
Yeah.
Manchester anyway.
Thank you, Maharaj.
You carry on reading.
I usually just pay obeisances on until the curtains open, then I pay full obeisances. And if the curtains are closed, I just pay my obeisances in general for entering the temple, you know. And then if Prabhupada's here, I'll pay full obeisances before Prabhupada.
Hmm. Okay, happy to move on.
Yeah. Okay.
Ashtang Pranam. The Hari Bhakti Vilas tells us how to offer Dandavat Pranam. Our obeisances with 8 angas, your feet, knees, chest, hands, head, sight, mind, and words. With your 2 feet, knees, chest, hands, and head touching the ground and with your eyes downcast and half open. Recite a suitable prayer while meditating that your head is under the Lord's lotus feet. Your hands should be extended out in the front of your head, not next to your head or tucked in next to your chest. That's the pose, yeah. Panchanga Pranama. To make Panchanga Pranam, offer obeisance with 5 angas, knees, arms, heads, intellect, and words. The chest does not touch the ground. It is an offense to offer obeisances with only one hand, it is an offense to offer obeisance with only one hand, that is, with one hand extended in front of the head, while the other holds a bead bag or other sacred item off the floor. Before offering obeisances, set down anything you're holding. Men may perform either type of pranam, but women traditionally perform only Panchang Pranam. While offering obeisances, first recite your own spiritual master's pranam mantra, okay? Then Srila Prabhupada's and then the pranam mantra for the deities on the altar. Offering respect to Vaishnavas. Sometimes we should refrain from offering a Vaishnava obeisances physically because doing so might inconvenience him. You are not, however, forbidden to offer respects in your mind. You should then take the next opportunity to offer physical obeisances. These rules apply when offering respect to any superior person, whether a Vaishnava or non-Vaishnava. A further point is that there are 2 times when we should offer obeisances to a superior, namely first when we see the superior person and again when he or she sees us. We just got that paragraph on the left as well.
So I just want to go back on the other point we're talking about, that, you know, don't take any notice of what I said. It was an opinion. It's not a, you know, if you've heard that you don't pay obeisances when the deities are sleeping, then you follow that line. But I don't know where it comes from, that's all. Yeah.
Yeah. Maharaj, what's the difference between figure 1 and figure 2? They were both ticked okay, but yeah.
Which, but here.
No, the bottom one. If you could scroll down, yeah, these 2.
Well, one's got his arms empty and he's on all fours. It's, you know, he's got his heart, 2 hands, 2 legs, and his head. So that's Pancha Anga. And the second one, he's still got, you know, 2 arms, 2 legs, and a head, but he's got his bead bag, so keeping it off the floor. It's advisable to put your bead bag somewhere and then pay obeisances, like in the first instance. The last one is just holding something off the ground. It may be, you know, some song, you know, a Vaishnava song, so he don't want to commit offense, but he's committing an offense by only paying obeisances or not, you know, on 4 angas.
Thank you much.
To this paragraph here, the Brihan Naradya Purana forbids us to offer obeisances to a Vaishnava while he is bathing, collecting wood for a sacrifice, picking flowers, carrying water, or honoring prasadam. If you're in an impure state, for example, if you're eating, bathing, or wearing shoes, or if your head is covered, you should neither offer nor receive obeisances physically.
Okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Let's come off. Would you like to read?
Not sure if you can remember all that, Maharaj. It's a bit.
Let's come on. Do you want to read?
Maharaj is very small for me. I'm got very
Okay.
difficult to reading them. It's far too small. I don't it's by folklore, so it's can't read it.
Is that better?
Yeah, yes. But
You can't see all of it. No, that's the trouble.
after putting on, yeah, it's good. Yeah, after putting on clean cloth, sit on a purified asana, preferably a kosher grass mat, and apply Urdhva Pundra or Vishnu Tilak on 12 parts of the body. You should not apply tilak in the bathroom. Tilak refers to mark placed on the body using various substances. Urdhva Pundra refers to the two vertical marks placed on the forehead and other parts of the body to indicate surrender to the Lord Vishnu. The Padma Purana and Yajurveda states that Urdhva Pundra symbolize the lotus feet of Vishnu. The 12 parts of the body on which Urdhva Pundra marks are not arbitrary points. They points that what's that? If you turn consider the half the single
They are sensitive points.
the points. This is the I can't see. What is it?
Can you read that?
I finished
It's a
half
bit
the page.
cut off, Maharaj, still.
It's just missing that Urdhva Pondra. That's all.
The Pundra marks are not arbitrary. The
No, I think
lotus.
there's a couple of words in there, Maharaj. That
Oh
still
yeah, they are okay. They are sensitive points that easily absorb the spiritual energy generated. Generated by reciting the name of Vishnu and mentally placing the Lord in those positions. If a devotee applies the marks of the Lord and chants the names, the Lord. Mark,
Go on, carry on.
Maybe someone else can read it.
yeah,
Right.
maybe some. Mother call you carry on.
I can carry on,
No,
but
no, you
it
have
needs
done
to
it.
be
I
in
can
one
read.
place.
Or
Maharaj
we can ask other
was
devotees, no?
moving the screen.
Lalita Preeti, if she wants to read.
Can you read that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If a devotee Hare Krishna Maharaj. If a devotee applies the marks of the Lord and chants his name, the Lord becomes pleased and resides with him. In this way, the material body becomes a sanctified temple of the Lord. The Brahmanda Purana states that a devotee who applies his tilaka with great care while looking in a mirror or looking at his reflection in water goes to the Lord's supreme abode. Ujjayi.
Carry
By
on.
applying tilaka on these places and reciting Vishnu's names, one sanctifies and dedicates the body to the Lord's service. The Haribhakta Vilasa mentions that the Urdhva Pundra Tilaka may vary in shape, color, and material according to a devotee's sampradaya, but other features are shared. It should not be crooked, uneven, uncentered, dirty, or bad smelling. On the forehead, the center position between the two lines should be open from the eyebrows to the hairline, but should be joined at the bottom. The solid portion, tulasi, may extend 3/4 of the way down the nose. 3/4, okay. While applying tilaka, two vertical lines which represent the lotus feet of the Lord are drawn first. Then the tulasi leaf is drawn. Lord Vishnu is said to reside in the central portion, while Brahma resides on the left and Shiva on the right. Srila Prabhupada advised devotees in New York to try to avoid spilling liquid gopi chandana while mixing it in the palm of the hand. Do not waste it. It is precious. If it is fallen on the ground, immediately clear the area. Chant the following verses. A. While rubbing the gopi chandana in your left palm, then applying tilaka and clearing the middle place, chant the name of the appropriate form of the Lord. Maharaja, it was not clear. Can you explain this? Chant the following verses. What is A? What is B?
Says, chant the following verses. A, while rubbing gopi chandana in your left palm, then while applying tilak and clearing the middle space, chant the name of the appropriate form of the Lord. B, alternatively, chant.
Oh, B is this down one. Okay, now I understand. Sorry. So B, alternatively, chant the verses given below one line at a time while applying the tilaka to the indicated places on your body. After each line of the verse, while clearing the space in middle where the Lord resides, chant the name of the appropriate form of the Lord. So
yes.
what is the difference between A and B, Maharaj? It seems very similar.
Chant the following verse. A, while rubbing gopi chandana on your left palm, while applying tilak, clearing the middle space, and chant the name of the appropriate form. B, alternatively, chant the verse as given below on line at a time, while applying the tilak to indicate places on your body. After each line of the verse, while clearing the space in the middle, whereas the Lord resides. Name appropriate. Yeah, it's the same thing, really.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you know, it's like this is a verse you chant when you're rubbing the tilak on your left palm. You chant through these verses, and then when it's ready to apply, then when you put it on your nose, you say Om Narayana Namaha. Then when you put it on your chest, Madhavaya Namaha, Govindaya, like that.
Okay.
So you first of all you rub it on your hand and get your paste, and you go through this mantra, and then you go back and you say each deity's name and you put it on different parts of your body. Is that all right?
Yeah, I understood. Because it's just a different form of saying same thing.
Yeah. Lalati Keshavam, Jayam, Vakshahastale Madhavam tu, Vishnum Cha Dakshine Chakshu, Shvikam Nandretu, Siddharam Vamana Bahote, tu, Prishte Cha Padmanavam Cha, Narayanam Atadare, Govindam Kante Kupake, Bahucha Murasdanam. Actually, Vamanam Vamana Praktishe, Rishikesham tu Kandare, Katyam Damadaram, yes. Yeah. There's also Vasudevaya Namaha as well. Okay. So there you are, that's all the places.
So it is clear now what is A and what is B. A is that verse and the B is individual names.
Yeah.
The Shikha area is not marked with tilaka. Rather, after washing the right hand, wipe the remaining water on your Shikha while chanting Om Vasudevaya Namaha.
Okay, we can, thank you very much, Steve. Every time I try to udge it along, it goes completely over the other side. Oh, that's better. So, what's next to read? Chris Prabhu, would you like to read?
Yes, Maharaj.
I'll just.
Jayam Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Paravajakacharya Soti Sata Sri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. All glories to the Acharya Om Vishnu Pad 108 Trindandi Goswami A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who travels everywhere preaching the glories of Hari and who is situated on the highest platform of sannyas. ISKCON BBT founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Jai Om Vishnu Pad Paramhamsa Parvajakacharya Rasoti Sati Sri Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. All glories to the Acharya on Vishnu Pad 108 Trindandi Goswami Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, who travels across the earth preaching the glories of Hari, and who is situated on the highest platform of Sannyas. Anantikoti Vaishnava in the Ki Jai. All glories to the unlimited millions of Vaishnavas. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. All glories to Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur. Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Call out with love the names Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasa and all the devotees of the Lord. Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakund Radhakund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. All glories to Radha and Krishna, the cowherd boys and girls, the cows, Shamakund, Radhakund, and Govardhan Hill. One may glorify the deities of the temple at this time. Sri Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. All glories to Sri Mayapur Dham. Sri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. All glories to Sri Vrindavan Dham. Sri Jagannath Puri Ki Jai. All glories to Sri Jagannath Puri Dham. You need to go up. Ganga Mai Ki Jai, all glories to Ganga Devi. Yamuna Mai Ki Jai, all glories to Yamuna Devi. Tulasi Devi Ki Jai, all glories to Tulasi Devi. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, all glories to Bhakti Devi. Sri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. All glories to the congregational chanting of the holy name of Hari. Samaveta Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees 3 times. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Guranga. Prayers
So
for offering.
actually, when we finish a kirtan, we sometimes say Jaya the deities, but we don't have to. We can finish the kirtan with just the Hare Krishna mantra. And then we're actually glorifying the deities in these prayers, Premadwani prayers, and Srila Prabhupada too. Okay.
Prayers for offering bhoga. After all the items of the bhoga have been placed properly in the deity's plates and cups, they should be placed on the altar. The following mantras should be chanted 3 times each while ringing a bell with the left hand. The Srila Prabhupada Prananti mantra, Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namni Gauri Tishe Namaha. O most munificent incarnation, you are Krishna himself, appearing as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You have assumed the golden color of Srimati Radharani and you are widely distributing the pure love of Krishna. We offer our respectful obeisances unto you. Namo Brahmanya Divaya Go Brahmanya Hitaya Cha Jagaditaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. My Lord, you are the well-wisher of the cows and the brahmanas. You are the well-wisher of the entire human society and world. The offering should be left on the altar for a few minutes and then removed after offering obeisances.
Okay. Thank you. So we've not read yet. Meena Jetani, Mataji.
Yes, Maharaj. Prasadam prayers. These prayers should be sung before honoring the Lord's Prasadam, the glorification of the Lord's Prasad. Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahmani Vaishnave Swakalpa Punya Vitam Rajan Vishwaso Naiva Jayate. O King, for all those who have amassed very few pious activities, their faith in Mahaprasadam, Sri Govinda, in the holy name and the Vaishnava is never born. Prasad Sevaya. Sarira Bida Jai Jatindriya Tahika Jive Pele Visaya Sagare Taramade Chibayati Lobamai Sudarmati Take Chita Kathina Samsare Krishna Baradaya Mai Kori Bare Jiva Jai Swaprasadana Dilobai, Sayanam Litapao, Radha Krishna Gunagao, Premidako Sri Chaitanya Nitai. O Lord, this material body is a lump of ignorance, and the senses are a network of paths to death. Somehow we have fallen into this ocean of material sense enjoyment. And of all the senses, the tongue is most voracious and uncontrollable. It is very difficult to conquer the tongue in this world. But you, dear Krishna, are very kind to us and have given us such nice prasadam just to control the tongue. Now we take the prasadam to our full satisfaction and glorify their lordships. Shri Shri Radha Krishna and in love call for the help of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. Bhai re ek din Shantipure Prabhu Advaitera ghare Dui Prabhu bhojane bosilo Saka kori Ashwadhana Prabhu bole bhaktagana Ei Shaka Krishna asvadilo. Eno Shak asvadane Krishna prema aise mane Se preme koro asvadana Jada buddhi parihari prasada bhojana kori Hari Hari bolo sarvajana. O brothers, one day at Shantipur in Sri Advaita's house, Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda were seated for lunch. When Lord Nityananda tasted the green leafy vegetables, he said, "Oh my devotees, this shak is so delicious. Look, Krishna has definitely tasted it." At the taste of such shak as this, the love of Krishna arises in the heart. In such love of God, you should taste this prasad, giving up all materialistic conceptions and taking the Lord's prasad. All of you just chant Hari Hari.
Okay, that's listening. So we finished that part. But I think we know most of this, but it's good to go through under some finer details which we may not properly understand. Honoring and serving prasadam. Atavi Krishna, would you like to read?
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you. Part 3. Honoring and serving prasadam. How the prasadam is served and how it is honored are important concerns in the Vaishnava culture. Krishna and spiritual master are very pleased not only when food is properly cooked and offered, but also when the resulting prasadam is graciously served and respectfully honored. Serving prasadam. Ideally, prasadam should be served by initiated Vaishnavas. One should be pure in mind, body, habits, and dress, and perform your duties quickly, quietly, and efficiently. As much as possible, loud talking and disruptive noises should be avoided. One must ensure that preparations meant to be served hot are actually hot, but not reheated after having become cold, and that all preparations to be served are either present or will arrive for serving at the proper time. Neither the server nor the serving utensils should ever touch the plates or hands of those who are eating, for this will contaminate the server and serving utensils. If this happens, one should wash one's hands and the contaminated utensil before continuing to serve the prasadam. The prasadam may be gently dropped on a free area of the plate, not on the salt, for example, taking care not to mix salty preparations with sweet preparations. Prasadam should not be served directly into the hand of the person eating unless one is serving not a meal, but only morsels of Mahaprasadam. Except when serving dry sweets or dry items, one should serve prasadam with a spoon, even for salt. Only one's right hand must be used to serve prasadam, and one should not touch anything impure, one's mouth, feet, hair, or lower body, nor should one yawn, sneeze, or spit, The serving vessels should not touch anyone's feet. The proper order of serving the various preparations is: water should be served first. When Gaudiya Vaishnavas serve prasadam, they begin the main meal with bitter foods, such as sukta and spinach. This is followed by dal and savories, such as pakoras and fried potatoes. Then come other vegetable preparations, sabjis, progressing from lighter sabjis to richer sabjis, and from wet to dry. The richer wet sabjis, then richer wet sabjis are served again, followed by raitas and chutneys. Finally, sweet progressing from less to more sweet. Rice and chapatis should be offered from the very beginning and replenished as required, until those honoring the prasadam have finished all sabjis. If possible, chapatis should be served hot.
What's interesting about the subjects. Yeah, from wet to dry, and then richer subjects are served again. So lighter subjects are not served again according to that. Any comments?
It's gone past dinner time, Maharaj. Not the
Hey.
right time to talk about this prasadam now.
Everybody's salivating, are they?
Yeah.
No talk when Madhav Kumar is waiting.
Serve it small. Serving small. Carry on, Atami Prabhu.
Yes, Maharaj. Servings may be small, but when the devotees finish an item, one should be alert to replenish the preparation. One should be generous in giving the devotees as much of an item as they desire. One should not be miserly and hold anything back because one wants to take it later. Prasadam is meant for distribution. The devotee should never be left with an empty plate except at the end of the meal. The server or the host may describe the wonderful qualities of an item as it is offered. Except where necessary for preaching, one should maintain silence. Hearing a lecture or a cassette at this time is also beneficial. Some devotees can read Krishna book or Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita. Everyone in a group should be offered the same items. When a group of persons take prasadam together, no one should be offered anything that is not offered to everyone else. The devotee who is serving prasadam should not make any distinction while serving. If possible, those with special diets should eat separately. The prasadam may be served from serving buckets. The buckets should not be dragged along the floor, nor should clanging noises be made with pots and utensils. After everyone has finished honoring prasadam, the place must be cleaned immediately. Also, devotees can collect the remnants falling around the plate and put in the dustbin.
Okay. Honoring prasadam. One should clean during meals, having washed one's hands, feet, and mouth. Also, one's shika should be bound, head uncovered for men and feet bare. One should eat in a clean, spacious, peaceful place. If possible, one may avoid eating in a vehicle. During yatras, this is unavoidable. One should not eat at the sandhyas, sunrise, noon, or sunset. Before bathing or before performing Gayatri Japa or your morning deity worship. Also, it is not proper to eat until the food from the previous meal has been digested. One may eat with legs crossed but not spread. Keeping the plate in one's lap is not proper. Ayurveda recommends sitting on the floor with an asana to take prasadam, with the legs crossed to ease digestion. Anyone over 50 when body does not support, however, may eat whilst seated at the table. Before beginning a meal, one should glance over the prasadam and pay one's respect to it, remembering that it is the mercy of the Lord. One should glorify the Lord Prasadam by chanting the prayers. That's what we chanted earlier. Okay, go on, Sarashpur, you want to carry on?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Anyway,
Where am I reading? Sorry, I missed that.
rules for eating and for drinking.
Yeah. While eating or drinking, do not make disturbing noises or find fault with the taste of the prasadam. Use only the 5 fingers of the right hand to touch the plate. Touch and place food in the mouth. Eating with the fingers is recommended because digestive process begins with the sensation of food touching the fingers.
I've
The left hand.
got a question about that.
Yeah.
I heard that you're only supposed to use your 3 fingers.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's possible, and it's the best, or the upper class way to eat is that the fingers don't touch your mouth. You make what you're going to eat into a suitable ball, and then you just pop it in your mouth. Is that right?
Well, I don't know about that. I've never tried.
A lot of practice to do that one.
Maharaj, I heard that in Sri
Everywhere.
Sampradaya, the sannyasis eat only 3 handfuls. So that's where I heard that, they wear only certain ingredients. They have restrictions on lots of vegetables like the dudi or bottle gourd, drumstick, all those things they don't eat. And they eat only 3 hands, is exactly as you said. Balls that fit in the fist, eat it 3 times.
Okay.
Maharaj, just one question. If somebody is left-handed, can he serve with the left hand and eat with left hand?
No,
So even left-handed, they should.
you have to learn to use your right hand.
So left-handed should eat and serve with the right hand, even they are left-handed.
Yeah, you have to. That's what I say. I heard. I haven't read it, but if somebody was left-handed, they would tie the hand up so that made the child use his right hand till he got used to it. Has anybody else heard that?
Yeah, I also heard Prabhupada was left-handed, but he was using the right hand. Somebody told him, I can't verify that.
Yeah. Yeah, but you should definitely, if you use your left hand, people take offense. Okay.
The left hand should be used only for lifting a water cup, and then only if one can pour the water into the mouth without touching the cup to the lips. Here, large items such as chapatis and puris with fingers of the right hand, and then place the small pieces in the mouth. Do not use your left hand to tear chapatis and puris. One should not consume a large item by taking it in one's mouth and tearing it with one's teeth. When the right hand is clean before a meal, one may use it to hold the cup and pour water into the mouth so that the cup, Maharaj, can you scroll up? So that the cup does not touch the lips. During a meal, one's right hand touches one's mouth. So one should take the cup in one's left hand and pour the water into one's mouth without touching one's lips. If the cup cannot pour properly, one may hold it in one's right hand and drink using one's lips.
That's unusual, that, because I was told when I first went on the Bhakti course that if you touch something with your right hand, you contaminate your right hand, your left hand becomes contaminated as well.
Mm.
In other words, your whole body becomes contaminated. Anybody else heard that?
Yeah, I heard the same, Maharaj.
Okay, carry on.
Just 1 second. Something came up. Food quantity. Overeating causes diseases and decreases one's lifespan. Yeah. It also stops one's spiritual advancement, generates sin, and makes one an object of criticism. Ideally, one should eat so that all one's stomach is filled with food, 1/4 with water, and the remainder with air. After the meal, it is appropriate to chant Premadwani at the end of meal before rising to leave. After finishing a meal and while waiting for others to finish, one may chant aloud various shlokas and prayers glorifying the Lord. Out of respect for others who are still eating, all persons in a row should wait for others in the same row to finish before raising. After raising from the meal, one should wash one's hands without delay and then rinse one's mouth at least 3 times, and finally one may wash one's feet. Do not rest or perform any strenuous labor directly after a meal. One should maintain a tranquil frame of mind as one did during the meal by remembering the Lord, chanting his name, and discussing his pastimes. After the meal, the eating area should be thoroughly cleaned with water.
Okay, thank you. Rajkumar Prabhu. It might be a little difficult for you. I'll try and. How's that?
Oh, yeah, better now, yeah. Sri Rupa Goswami says in Nectar of Instruction, then one should mentally honor the devotees who chants the holy name of the Lord Krishna. One should offer humble obeisances to the devotee who has undergone a spiritual initiation and associate and faithfully serve a pure devotee who is advanced in undeviated devotional service and whose heart is completely devoid of propensity to criticize others. Using with spiritual, what's that? Aspiring, I can't see the first word. Dealing with the spiritual master, one should humble oneself submissively and render service to the spiritual master. One should take the orders of the guru as one's life and soul. In the presence of guru, one should not instruct others without receiving his permission. In the presence of guru, one should not take one's own disciples. One should simply obey the instruction of the guru and should not question. We should not disobey the instruction thinking that we know his real inner feeling. One should never instruct one's own guru, even if he wants to present something to one's guru, thinking that this, oh, that was it. A manual of Vaishnava etiquette and lifestyle. Information may be helpful. One should always present in a very humble spirit. One should never argue with one's spiritual master. One should never present one's qualification to the guru and should always remain in a very humble position. One should never sit on the same level as the spiritual master unless one receives his permission. Just like Lord Krishna is non-different than his name or picture, Similarly, there is no difference between the spiritual master and his name and picture. Hence, one should keep picture of the guru and Krishna at proper place. One should not read books apart from those written by the guru and the parampara unless one has permission and blessing.
That doesn't mean to say we don't inquire. If if we actually don't understand something, we can still question in the proper spirit. Carry on. Okay, we'll move on then. Might ever come up with
Hare Krishna. All right. Dealing with seniors. Within a Vaishnava tradition, it is an important expression of our humility to respect those who are in the senior position than ourselves. In the chain of seniority, the senior-most Vaishnava is a guru who is to be respected as a representative of God, so he must be given the same respect as Krishna himself. Next are the sannyasis. Among the sannyasis themselves, seniority is considered on the basis of who had taken sannyas initiation earlier. All sannyasis should be offered respectful obeisances, particularly when one first sees them in the day. Even Mayavadi sannyasis should be given proper respect, although one should not associate with them. Next are the Guru's godbrothers. They should be respected as one respects the spiritual master. The Manual of Vaishnava Etiquette and Lifestyle. Number 8. Devotees who have undergone Brahmana Diksha should be respected. Again, seniority is determined on the basis of who has been initiated earlier. Devotees who have accepted Diksha before us should be given due respect. Special respect must be offered to the devotees who are senior in age. One should not instruct another person in the presence of a senior Vaishnava without first receiving his permission. When ghee lamp is being offered to devotees after arati, seniority must be taken into account. Dealing with godbrothers should call one another Prabhu. One should, however, not try to become Prabhu because we are being so addressed. One should simply remain a servant and accept others as Prabhu. We are the servants of our godbrothers, and according to our particular level of godbrother, we must serve him accordingly. From our senior godbrothers, we should inquire submissively, carry out their instructions, and aspire to be their obedient servants. To those who are equal, we should serve them by befriending them, assisting them, and encouraging them. To those who are junior to us, we should serve them by guiding them, directing them, encouraging them, and enlightening them. When we meet another godbrother, we should bow down and offer the prayer. Panchakalpatarubhashya cha kripasindhuve cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. We should never accept a godbrother as servant unless we have the permission or order of the spiritual master. We must never allow the saying familiarity breeds contempt to enter into the relations between the devotees. Dealings between devotees should be respectful and without offense and duplicitousness. Devotees must not address one another by their kami names. I have a question on that. One should not praise oneself or boast one's achievement or qualifications to the other devotees. One should know that actually one has no qualifications. Whatever we are able to do is simply due to the mercy of Guru and the Vaishnava. If a godbrother or a godsister is undergoing some difficulties on account of sickness or bereavement in the family and or is in emotional turmoil due to some reason, one must help in word and deed. As the saying goes, a friend in need is a friend indeed. The bonds between devotees will be tested at the time of difficulty. We cannot ignore such developments as being material. If a devotee has strayed away from the devotional service and has been in the association of devotees for a considerable period, he or she must not be chastised for being in Maya or reprimanded in a way that will push him or her further away from the lotus feet of the spiritual master. One must offer love, encouragement, and friendship and make him or her feel once again at home in the company of devotees.
Okay, so I think we did this about Mataji's. before. Oh, we can stop there anyway. It's 7 o'clock. So
Maharaj, just one quick question. How much association are we allowed or permissible with the senior devotees from other sects outside ISKCON in general?
well, as much as possible, we should just keep association of ISKCON devotees. Sometimes that's not possible because we meet at Rath Yatra and things like that. And, you know, we remain friendly and we remain respectful because they're, like say, Vaishnavas. They're just following in a different sampradaya or a different mat. But we don't generally look for that association because there's always a different mood. And in order to be chaste to Prabhupada's mood, it's best to associate with, you know, Prabhupada disciples and grand disciples like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not been to Vrindavan, but if I go, I mean, obviously there's a lot of devotees there, not from ISKCON. Are we supposed to seek association from them, or just pay or I mean, associate with them closely, or how do we approach those devotees which are not from ISKCON? But I've heard there are plenty of them in Vrindavan, especially.
No, we don't endeavour to associate with them, but we respect them, as I said. And if they talk to us, then we respectfully reply and, you know, like that. But in general, if you go to Vrindavan and you go to the ISKCON temple, you'll find that, you know, most devotees are actually ISKCON devotees. A lot of visitors come, but they don't speak English anyway. But I don't think it's so much of a problem. Only occasionally, when I've been, do I meet, you know, devotees to speak to from other mats. It's just not. It just seems to be like that. There's not much contact with other mats, you know. They've got their mood and associates, and we have ours. So it's like that generally, that there's not a strong attachment.
Because I heard that the Prabhupada said, you know, he's given everything that we need within ISKCON, so we should not seek anything outside ISKCON. At least that's my mood. I don't feel safe.
We don't go looking for knowledge elsewhere. We stick with Prabhupada. But I'm just saying, in interaction and relationships, we can't avoid speaking to them sometimes, so that's okay.
Okay.
But if it gets into a philosophical debate, it's best to excuse oneself, you know.
Okay. Thank you, Maharaj.
Maharaj, if we meet a Mayavadi sannyasi that we are going to meet in August in that Gita festival, and when the children are presenting the Bhagavad Gita, how should we deal if he says, no, you're not, what you're saying is wrong, or, you know, if he objects? We try to present in a way that nobody should object, but if one objects, you know, how do we deal being a sannyasi?
I couldn't understand everything you were saying.
Oh, Maharaj, so what was happening is on August 11th, there is one Gita festival being organized by a Mayavadi group. So they invited ISKCON to bring the chariot as well. So there the children are presenting Bhagavad Gita.
Well, my advice is we shouldn't associate with. We offer respects, that's all. You know, like Mayavadi sannyas, impersonal sannyasis, we should still respect that they've taken that position. But that's all. Because if Mayavadi Bhashya Shunile Aya Sarvanash, that if we hear from them, it could spoil our devotional service. So it's best not to associate, but just fold your hands, offer respects, and then go about your business,
But we are presenting there, so I think that will be quite tricky.
What's tricky?
Because we are presenting Bhagavad Gita there.
Where?
In that group, in that big group of different sects and different sort of people in August. So
Anyway, if we need to, if it's like a place where there's many different mats and different transcendental, practices, we need to send experienced devotees who won't become affected by them, but who can actually defend the Vaishnava, philosophy. Young devotees.
In the future, better to avoid rather than going and we say the Vaishnava things, and if they object, it looks quite messy situation. So in the future, perhaps better maybe avoid, you reckon?
I still can't understand completely because of your accent.
Maybe we can talk, without this. Maybe separately, Maharaj.
Okay. Okay. So what shall we do now? It seems like devotees have dropped out. Do we carry on, or shall we just send this out to everybody, this particular document, who wants it?
I think it'd be fantastic if you could send the document out as well.
Yeah.
I'd really value that.
How much is left, the content, Maharaj?
Let me have a look.
Is it like, I think, another 20-30%? Just from the scroll bar.
Here we are.
Maharaj, the number of attendees are the same, and 19 are present now. So we usually get that numbers anyway in every other week. We get about 15 to 20. Now we got 19. The numbers are not down.
What's that?
So we got 19 attending now this course.
Well, let me just open this up just a minute.
If you
because
go to
they're seeing the video only.
If you go to participant, it goes to 19. It showed 19.
I just saw, I could only see 7.
No, Maharaj, it's 19 people, I think.
Oh, that's okay. So obviously we should carry on then if everybody's.
And Maharaj, we have to bear in mind, I mean, it's 19 dialing, so that like I'm here with my wife, so every attendee could be like 3 or 4 people,
yes,
watching.
It's my mistake. I just saw on the little caption, I could only see 8 people. And then
19.
Because I was sharing, and then when I opened it up, I can see a lot more now. So,
Maharaj, from what's left on the content to cover, how many sessions more you think we need?
Let's have a look. Well, we've done all 2. We've done part 4, so we've just got this part 3 to do, which is a small section. We've got part 5 and part 6, which is a small section. So I think at the most 2. Okay. And maybe if we don't spend so much time, it could even be 1, but I think it'll take a little bit more actually.
Okay, Maharaj. So we'll remember to send the reminders for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll know at the end of next week anyway.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Okay, thank you everybody.
Krishna, thank you very much.
Thank you.